People always like, oh, that sounds like 1930s, you know, which is stupid because I think, you know, we had great art, great poets long time before that, and that's what Till relates to, I think.
In around 1999, I invited them again to the program, but due to a very, very controversial circumstance, and that was that they had recorded a video to a cover version which they'd released as a single. The song was stripped by Depeche Mode. The problem with the video was that they had extracted material from a film director in Germany called Leni Riefenstahl, who was commissioned in the 40s and the 30s to make films for Adolf Hitler, and he did this personally. She's a very controversial director in Germany. In fact, she's still alive. And they used sequences from her film Olympia in this video.
The stripped video, the Leni Riefenstahl video, at first I thought it was very much over the top. But then on the other hand, if you look at Leni Riefenstahl, she was such an amazing filmmaker and photographer.
And I came straight to the point and I said, okay, so what is it about the controversy? And I think it would be very good, to a certain extent, to clarify whether you are right-wing or whether you have rightist leanings or not. And they were not too happy doing it, but they did it. They said that we are obviously not right-wing. We come from a left-wing background. We're all, you know, worker party people from East Germany. We're harmless, and basically I think they were almost, they reached that point where they discovered that it was more to their advantage to clarify the situation than to have a situation where more controversy in a negative respect would be, you know, would come up anyway.
Ja, zu diesen rechtsradikalen Vorwürfen, ich sehe das so, die Leute stammen aus dem linken Punk-Spektrum. Ich kann mir nicht vorstellen, warum sie auf einmal umschlagen sollen in die Gegenrichtung. Wenn man sich die Texte genau ansieht oder auch die Show genau ansieht, merkt man, dass vieles Karikatur ist, dass vieles Spiegelung ist dessen, was das Leben birgt. Gerade hier in Deutschland. Und es ist auch nicht neu, dass gerade solche martialischen Vorhaben wie Rammstein oder wie vorher schon Laibach oder wie auch Manson in Amerika ständig in diese Kritik fallen, weil sie eben sich nah ranbegeben an diese Ausdrucksweisen, die immer mit Rechtsradikalismus in Verbindung gebracht werden. Aber sie sind meiner Meinung nach absolut keine Rechtsradikalen. Das kann ich nicht nachvollziehen, und ich denke, dass auch zumindest einige von ihnen schwere persönliche Probleme damit haben, wie zum Beispiel Flake oder wie Schneider, die also zum Beispiel in ihrem Elternhaus, die ja eher aus einer linken Vergangenheit kommen, Probleme damit haben, weil sie in der Presse so geschleift wurden bezüglich dieser Vorwürfe. Und ich denke, dass auch solche Vorwürfe schnell ausgegraben werden, wenn so Neid oder auch einfach Eifersucht eine Rolle spielt, auch in der Presse oder auch bei anderen Musikern, bei anderen Künstlern. Sie haben auch sehr viele Fürsprecher, auch hier in Deutschland und auch im Ausland. Und ich denke, das ist, wer so etwas behauptet, sollte es sehr genau untersuchen, was er behauptet. Und sollte ihnen die Freiheit zugestehen, ihre Texte so zu machen, dass sie die Realität spiegeln und nicht nur irgendein Blabla daher singen, wie andere es tun.
So, as they continue to insist, Rammstein are not Nazis or even patriots, but they are intelligent, poetic and subversive, and touch on extremely controversial subjects to get a reaction. This goal has definitely been achieved. With Zenzucht achieving platinum status and huge sales across Europe and finding success in America, by 1999 their success was about to increase even more rapidly with their album Mutter.
Mutter is the most accomplished of the Rammstein albums, because I know that many people have said that their lyrics aren't very deep, but this was the first album where I had the impression that you could actually read a lot into them. It had some really nice songs. It came out as a digipack with very nice artwork, and I thought that they were keen to project themselves as more than just the gloomy staccato riff, manly German boys.
The cover artwork from Mutter is very strange. I don't like it very much because you can see a dead fetus on the front cover in Formaldehyde, and I think that's not the way to promote an album. They provoke in everything they do. I think it's a strategy, but I think that's one step too far away from normal behavior. I don't like it very much.
There's an interesting song on this album called Links 2, 3, 4. Rammstein were always cornered to actually say something about all the allegations that they were a neo-Nazi band, and they never said anything. And then they said that we would bring out a song on this new album which would be a clear statement. And it was, because Links 2, 3, 4, the lyrics of the song go, Links 2, 3, 4, mein Herz schlägt links 2, 3, 4, which is a marching attitude. The connotation being, of course, for old Nazi marches. But the text is, my heart beats left 2, 3, 4, left 2, 3, 4. You could actually say that it was just a little too placative and too easy to read into. But there were people who actually thought it was a good idea to do this song.
I think it is not the best album they did. It was okay on a high standard, but I think there were not so much top hits on it. Of course, the first single, Sonne, was a really good song with a very good video. But I think there are some songs which have not the high level of songwriting anymore.
The lyrics on Mutter are brilliant. I think Till reached really a peak in his writing, I think. For me, I like the dark side of his writings. A song like Mutter is brilliant, like where he describes sort of like genetical, artificial baby, DNA baby that doesn't have a mother, and I like that stuff. But I think you can't translate it into English. You have to fully understand German to be able to get the beauty of his rhymes and his sentences.
I just thought that the record was going in a direction where you could almost say that Rammstein were becoming artists to a certain extent. And again, I thought that they were placing correctly in my mind emphasis on their projection as an entire entity and not as a band that only was constricted or constrained to songs. That was very important, and I think they work hard at this. Regardless of what happens in the future, I'm sure that Rammstein will be particular that it's not only about the songs, it has to be about the complete appearance.
Mutter is Rammstein's most accomplished and adventurous LP, which puts them as indisputably major players on the world stage. None of them were ready for such success, but they embraced it wholeheartedly.
Sie wussten es wirklich nicht, aber ich glaube, es war der einzige Ausweg aus ihrer Lage. Sie haben ja irgendwie alle Frauen verlassen, Kinder, alles. Und es gab für sie eigentlich nur einen Weg, aus ihrer Misere rauszukommen. Und das war der Erfolg. Und also ich kann nur von Paul und Flake reden und die ganzen Geschichten, die ich da kenne. Also Paul und Flake sind sehr ehrgeizig und alles. Und ich habe das 94 zum ersten Mal gehört und es war mir eigentlich damals schon klar, dass das ein Riesenerfolg wird, weil sie einfach mit einer Professionalität rangehen, die seinesgleichen sucht. Also es ist unglaublich professionell und es ist ihr Leben. Und das ist wichtig, um Erfolg zu haben, dass man hinter der Sache steht und